Here we're going to be making patty melt hobo pies, essentially. You know, patty melt is kind of like a hamburger or cheeseburger, only you use like bread instead of like a bun. And yeah, so I got the beef here, a couple different cheeses to choose from. I have my veggies already prepped ahead from yesterday. I saved some. I got red onions and Walla Walla sweet onions mixed in there, which I'm about to toss into the pan over there, the cast iron pan, which has my bacon kind of getting prepped. And that reminds me to grab my glove in a second. And yeah, so first step right now is getting the bacon and the veggies ready. So that's where I'm at right now. And then I'm getting the hobo pie using the same method I used for the cast iron pan to clean it. Just getting some of that gunk off there. So I've got it heating right now to loosen up that gunk. So I'll pause the camera for now and come back at you in a moment. All right, quick update here. So what I did is this wasn't getting enough heat, so I dropped it down below on top of the coals and everything. And that's something to keep in mind. You know, some people probably don't realize this. Again, because common sense isn't always common, but a lot of people don't have a lot of cooking experience like I do myself. You know, I worked as a cook, a line cook for about 2 years, specifically with Diamond Knot, and on the 30 in Ventura, California, or excuse me, Ventura Boulevard and Sherman Oaks, and Diamond Knot, of course, in Mukilteo. So anyways, so as you can see, I've got a marshmallow / roasting stick, and I don't even have to bend over to stir all this stuff up. It's all going to get integrated together later anyways. I'll probably tear apart the bacon and everything. But as you can see, I got my onions, my bacon, everything all kind of cooking together. I threw in a little bit extra butter in there for flavor. And then I'm pretty pleased with how the hobo pie maker got cleaned up. The hot water definitely did help. Now it's not perfect, but I'm not really too concerned about that. It's not inspection ready, but that little hoopla adds flavor in the end. So anyways, check back in after this portion's done. And in the meantime, I'm probably gonna get my bread prepped, so I'll do that right now. All right, howdy folks. So I'm gonna prep my bread. Tonight I am drinking a Legions Men's Room Red. If you're not abreast to, hold on a second, let me pause my Blink-182 music. Put on punk list to kind of break up things. The Men's Room is a local radio show specifically to Seattle, 99.9 KISW, one of the radio stations I've listened to probably since as long as I can remember. Thanks to my sister, who really got heavily into grunge. You know, she's older than me. Was always either had 107.7 the end or 99.9 on. And so, funny enough, when I was getting into that, on the end they had Steve. What's his name? Well, that's besides the point. Either way, I highly recommend this brew, and I also highly recommend the Men's Room radio show. It happens from 2 to 6 o'clock. Afternoon is perfect because if you're like at work and you want to break up the monotony of music or podcast or whatever, just turn on 99.9, and they're just funny dudes, man. Trust me. And they talk about all these funny topics, and they always have lots of calls in. I mean, people calling in, and they always have asking funny questions. And anyway, that's beside the point. So, the situation we got here, gonna start putting some butter on the bread. You know, reiterating what I did yesterday. All right, so we got my butter. I think I want to do this on a paper towel, probably. It's always good to have a couple rolls of these, you know, on hand when you're camping. I mean, they're disposable, easy to throw away. You don't have to worry about washing a towel or whatever, you know. All right, so probably gonna do 2 because I have leftover guac from yesterday, which, you know, I just kept in the pot and put it in my cooler, my beverage cooler, and yeah, it's a little bit brown, but it's still good, you know. Guac is just one of those things, you know, it's gonna brown on its own. That's why you put lime in it generally, is for flavor, and it also preserves the color, so to speak, and prevents bacteria growing on it. So I'll get that going. So while I sit here and put butter on this bread, I was thinking about, you know, the next steps that I'm going to take to more efficiently make these, you know. So I was thinking, since I need to make patties, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grease up the hobo pie maker, and essentially, that's all it is just a mold, right? So I can just smash my patties into that. I don't know what size patty I need. Take those out and cook them on the cast iron pan after the veggies and bacon are done. So that's the game plan there. And since I'm limited on storage containers for food and whatnot, the bacon and onions I'm just going to put back into this little container that the mushrooms came in. That way I'm have them on hand when it goes time to build the sandwich, so to speak. So let's do that. Butter's nice and soft right now. Because, I should point that out too. Just an update on my contractor, my improvised cooler with the contractor bag is still, held together here. Let me show you 1 second. I'm in rotated mode, so. But yeah, as you can see, all my food and veggies are still good to go. So yeah, so anyways, set this back down. And yeah, so yeah, like I was saying, I got a couple different cheeses to choose from, Sharp and Mallet cheddar cheese. So yeah, well, that's pretty much it for this stage right now. I'm wearing my uncle's retirement watch today because I had him on my mind, thinking about him and how he's doing in heaven, and if he's all right, what have you. If you believe in that sort of thing. As I've said before, I don't impose my beliefs upon anyone else. I just believe we all should be free to choose and do what we want with our lives, and how you choose to live it, is really up to you. Just don't be an asshole and be a good person. Everything will be all right, right? So, yeah, having spiritual, mind, body, and spirit balances, I believe is highly important to being a successful, individual. So, I know that because when I fixed that in my own life, when I fixed that balance, things started to come together and start happening for me. So, and one of those things I would say is, at one point or another, I felt pretty lost, and I was not making a whole lot of money. And so for me, probably the cheapest escape I had was alcohol, not the greatest thing to escape with, So everything in moderation, right? Fix the things you need to do so you don't have to turn to simple pleasures like alcohol or whatever, just to escape life and, be okay with it, You got to figure out the things that are not copacetic, so to speak, whether that's your job, or think of the things that are affecting your ability to be happy and feel like you don't have to escape from life, It's unfortunate, but for me, a lot of that had to do with finances and money, money is just a tool, simply, right, to navigate through life and be successful or be happy in a way, just so you can pay your rent, put food on the table and everything, And when you don't have that, man, life kind of sucks, I'm not telling anybody something they don't already know, right? It kind of sucks, when you're having to work, overtime, multiple 12-hour shifts in a row without anything but a thank you and a high five, right? It's kind of demoralizing a little bit, like, either way, life's a lot better, right, when you got a good paying job, a nice roof over your head, and just the stability, support, and but that all does play back to being spiritual and having something to turn to when times are tough, and realizing that everything does eventually add up to something, and when you give and receive to whoever your spiritual following is. And like I said before, it doesn't have to be a deity. It can be, like for me, like the drums before I rediscovered my faith with Christianity, were my go-to, that really helped me just decompress, and be okay with life, So I still continue to do it because it's how I release emotion and show people that I care and that I just genuinely love people, or what have you, or just want to put a smile on someone's face. Drums are where it's at, so. Anyways, I thought I'd just kind of run my suck there for a minute, figure out about getting these patties made. So I'll check back with you in a moment. All right, as you can see, yeah, that's kind of what I was going for, Just a nice mismatch. Mashup, excuse me. Learn how to speak there, Marie. Of, you know, onions and bacon, so that's cool. So I'll pull this off and then get this going. All right, so the pan is somewhat cool to the touch, so I'll use my gloved hand. And all I'm doing is putting all that in there. Oh, shit. Hold on, let me set this down so somewhat. Yeah, well, you get the idea. That paper towel is going to soak up all the grease and everything. And then once it's set for about 5 minutes, I'll pull the towel out and kind of chop everything up a little bit. Back at you in a moment. All right, so I'm back. Got the hobo pie maker. Got my beef right here, which some critter's trying to come by and steal from me. So I'm going to separate that. And before I proceed with that, get a paper towel here. Be a good idea to put some butter down into the doohickey here. You know, it's already been on the grate there for a good minute or so. So I don't know. I don't have to go crazy with this, but in the best interest of it popping out and being all nice and perfect without having to pick it apart, yeah, it's a good idea to do a little bit more than you would initially think. So, you know, cause yourself problems later. Just like anything in life, right? It's about taking the actions that are necessary now, exceeding above and beyond those actions now, so that when things get real hard later, you know, it doesn't suck quite as bad. You know? So, okay, I'm pretty happy with that, I think. Last time I forgot to really get the brim of that, because that'll make your life easier to want. Okay, that's pretty good. I probably won't put that back in the container though. Let's make some patties. All right, I'm not sure how much meat I'm going to put in here, but I was assuming about a quarter pounder would probably be about right. So I'm going to grab a fistful of meat. Fistful of meat! Is that what she said? No, never mind. Kids are watching. Don't listen to what I just said. All right, so probably just do one here and kind of gauge. Yeah, so I don't want it to be too big. I want it to be inside the sandwich, but encased, right? So that's pretty good. That's pretty cool. Maybe make it a little bit thicker, because this is kind of a late lunch, early dinner kind of sort of situation. I don't know if I stay up and work on Fred, as you might be able to see in the background there. I started working on Fred Krueger sculpt. You know, I was just focused on the left-hand side and kind of get the forms and shapes and kind of get an idea, you know, of all that, and then duplicate what I do on this side to the right side. So anyways, let's focus on this first. I'll do a post about sculpting later for all those who are interested. All right, that's looking pretty good. So what I think I should do here, probably don't want to, well, that should be fine. Okay. That didn't work out so well. Well, actually. Boom. Okay, that's kind of gives me a good rough idea what to do. Put that. Forgot to clean that, so let's put that there. It's fine. It's not wax paper, but it'll do. Let's do a little bit bigger one, maybe. You know. Yeah, that's a man patty right there. Maybe I'll just experiment and see what happens when you do go over a little bit. Actually, yeah, that gives me a really good idea. Here, let's try this. This will be like a meat pie. I should try that. Try that again. All right, cool. Put that there. And boom. All right. Boom. Boy, that's gonna be fat, isn't it? That'll be a little bit too much. But again, you know, research and development. You know, you gotta experiment and see what works and what doesn't. It's like anything in life. All right, so that's pretty cool. So gonna move these onto the cast iron pan, and I'll come back at you. All right, current status update. Got the burgers on the iron pan, cast iron pan, about what, 7:36. So give those about, I don't know, 3 minutes or so on each side. Doesn't really matter. They don't have to be cooked all the way through, in my opinion, because they're gonna go into the hobo pie and make it a minute and probably cook all the way through. So keep that in mind, man. You don't want your burger to be overcooked. So that being said, gonna kind of chop this up a little bit more, and then I'll get back to you in a moment. All right, getting these chopped up. Hold on a second. Greasy. So yeah, again, the grease kind of melted the bottom plastic a little bit, but I had it lined with paper towels, so I wasn't too worried about that. So all we're gonna do is, you know, this is more of an afterthought than the meat and potatoes of the actual burger itself, so it's more like a condiment, what have you. So I'm gonna, and again, I want it to kind of integrate into the cheese. Alright, that's pretty good to go. I don't want it super fine, but I don't want it super chunky either. So take that. Take my time, make sure it gets into the container. No rush here. Cool. Alright, that's good to go. Go check on the burgers and kind of get my station prepped up. Set to go to actually build the sandwiches. So be back at you in a moment. Alright, so I'm starting to build right now. Today, rather than make the sandwiches first, you know, I'm laying them out, the bread on each side, you know, and I greased both sides of the hobo pie maker itself real well. So I should probably use up some of the sharp cheddar first, but you know, we're gonna make it nice and cheesy. So it looks like this is still okay. It's a little bit of dirt on it, but you know, that just adds flavor and a little bit more grit, right? You know, that's one of the things I see that's wrong with our society today is people are a little bit too comfortable with their daily lives. You know, they haven't really faced insurmountable challenges, you know, whether that be in combat or what have you. You know, so they have a different understanding and appreciation of life than, say, somebody who served in Iraq like myself. So, and again, I don't pass judgments or what have you. I'm just speaking my mind on that, all that, you know. All right, so let's break open this guy. Nice. I thought maybe that would have slipped because my fingers are kind of greasy at the moment. Cool. And maybe I want to save that for the other one, so put this on the other side. Just kind of spread it around. Spread the love, right? Yeah, that's fine. All right, cool. So I'll go grab the burgers, and then we'll get this set up, okay? Stay tuned. All right, so we're back with our hamburger patties, which let's see how they turned out on the other side. I put it on indirect heat after. Those might be. I think that should be fine. Well, actually, let's cook those a little longer. One moment. This one, though, I think. Oh, this one's fine. Yeah. Oh, yeah, never mind. So, for the purpose of this video, we're going to go ahead and use this guy. All right. Oh, yeah, man. This one's sick. So, I'm going to go ahead and put this back on direct heat here in a moment. And, excuse me. Let's go ahead and just flip that guy over there. There we go. All right, again. Smash her down. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Oh, this is gonna be a pretty good hobo pie if I've ever seen one myself. All right, so we're gonna put it back onto the heat, and I'll be right back at you in a moment. It's gonna sit right. I can always tell that's good to go. So take that off the indirect, direct heat, and put that indirect heat. And let's take this and check it out. 1 second. Should be able to do this one-handed. Yep, okay, that's what you're looking for. So remember yesterday how my hobo pies are sticking to themselves? Or what have you? So let's do this. Flip it over. Maybe give it a bang. Or a shake. Not quite, that's fine. Well, we're just going to have to peel it apart here in a moment. So I'll just put that back down. Take this back over. And yeah, that's what I'm talking about, right? Now, if I had French fries or potatoes, what I'd probably do is take this patty off and cut up the potatoes and just throw those again in direct heat. And yeah, it'd be a nice little appetizer. But I got my chips and guac, so I'm good to go. You know, again, even though I greased this really well, what I discovered is you don't want to let the cheese, when you're making your sandwich, like for instance, oh wow. This one here, which you can see is freaking massive. I'll probably, what I'm going to do is make sure that I cut off any excess cheese, make sure it's inside the middle, so that the cheese, well, probably will still seep out. It won't create such a glue, if you will, kind of effect, and make it more difficult to pry out. So maybe I'll make another clip just to show that, you know, how that turns out. But either way, this will probably be the end of this video. Probably a longer one because I recorded multiple clips in the process. And either way, hopefully you enjoy and maybe learn something. And, you know, whether that be about making hobo pies or just some of the things that I spoke upon and my experiences in my own life. Because that really, to me, it's important to share, you know, because I might say something that might help somebody who's struggling or just trying to find their way or what have you, you know. So yeah, stay tuned. All right, so this one's pretty epic, so I thought I'd get it on camera just to give you an idea. And so one thing I was thinking is I need to push, while I close it, push this forward, press it down. Yeah, okay, wow. That is, oh wow, look at that. That's good. That's a good sign. And maybe, let's try this out. Let's give this just an idea I thought of just now. Cut off the excess now. So cut off all that excess now. So it's all formed into the maker off the bat. Boy, yeah, that's greasy, isn't it? This one's gonna be flavorful. All right, so that's good to go. Put it in the fire and see how it turns out. Take a taste test of this one while I'm at it. All right, I thought I'd just show you what we're working with now. See, cut it in half on a bias. You know, a little bit of probably one of my favorite barbecue sauces that you can buy in, you know, pretty much any grocery stores. Sweet Baby Ray's. With the honey flavor barbecue. And then again, I've got my leftover guacamole with fresh chips. I highly recommend Juanita's if you ever have a chance to buy them in the store. I think they're kind of local to Washington, actually, Oregon, Hood River, Oregon. So, you know, you can find them more or less here in the Pacific Northwest pretty easily, but a little bit more difficult to find in California. However, in any case, let's give it a shot and see how it turned out. So try it with one bite without dipping it in the barbecue sauce. Excuse me, that is fantastic. Dip with a little barbecue sauce for flavor. Wow. Yeah. Excuse me. As the barbecue pit boys would say, sorry folks for eating in front of you, but it is good. Give a little bit of, a little dip of that, make sure that's still good. Oh yeah, real good. Either way, it's probably my last video for now. Might record some more stuff if I have any insights or what have you that I think might be useful to other people along the way here. But either way, it's Friday, so, enjoy your weekend if you're about to start your weekend. If not, then, look forward to your days off, and most importantly, spend as much time as you can with your friends and family if you can while, this whole situation happens. But most importantly, give yourself grace and give yourself some time yourself, kind of like what I've been doing the past few days. So, either way, y'all enjoy, God bless, Semper Fi, may the force be with you, live long and prosper. Go forth, do great things, God be with you.